What's up everyone? Welcome or welcome back to the Marketing Nomad YouTube channel. I am the Marketing Nomad. So today is Sunday. It is December 28th and every single Sunday without fail, I sit with my business journal. All right. This is something that is possibly to me the most important thing that I do for my business every single week. Now, does that mean that any other day during the week I don't really look into it? Not necessarily. If I feel like it, I am looking into my business journal. However, every Sunday without fail, at least for an hour or two, I am spending time with my business journal. All right. So, of course, that hour or two depends. Sometimes I would have written in during the week, so I don't really have to spend that much time on Sunday. But every Sunday I do look at it. I do take some time with my business journal. So the first thing that I wanted to share with you was the way that my perception is, the difference between my business journal and my planner. So my planner is more about to-do lists, about how I need to go about things or what I need to accomplish in that particular day, week, month, year, or sometimes even quarter, so on and so forth. So it is basically a compilation of to-do lists that help me to actually do what I have planned. So that's my planner. Now, my business journal is different. My business journal is a compilation of all of my thoughts and feelings with respect to my business. It can be feelings that I'm having when things are going well, feelings that I'm having when things are not going well with my business, maybe some areas of my business I'm feeling stuck, so I write down my thoughts, my feelings about it. If there is some area of my business that I did well this time or this week or this month or slowly it's been making progress, I take time to observe all of that and write it in my business journal. Sometimes there are certain things that I am kind of facing a bump in my business and I want to take some time to share my feelings about that. That goes in my business journal. If I want to maybe brainstorm or maybe think about why it could be going wrong or why there's a bump, that also goes in my business journal. If I want to spend some time to maybe break down solutions or what could possibly I do different with regard to that particular problem or that particular bump in my business, that also goes into my business journal. How I'm feeling about my week with respect to my business, how I'm feeling about that particular month, how did I feel that particular month went, what are some of the things that went well, what are some of the improvements, what could be maybe an area that I keep in mind for the next month as I approach the next month. All of my thoughts and feelings with respect to my business go in my business journal. So there's a lot of writing that happens in my business journal. Compared to my planner, it's more of point form of to-do lists. I will get into that probably next week. We'll talk a little bit about my planner. I do have a system that I created for myself. It is a framework of planning, and I've also written it in my book, 0 to 4 Figures, as well. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next video, but for today, we're talking about the business journal, right? So that is basically what encompasses my business journal, anything and everything to do with my thoughts and feelings with respect to my business journal. So let's take, for example, this week, all right? There are a couple of things that I needed to buy, like business supplies that I needed to buy for my business before the end of this year so that it would count in the expenses for this financial year. So in my planner, it was written out saying, okay, buy so-and-so things and figure that out, and that's pretty much it. That was what went on in my planner. And in my business journal, a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have been able to afford what business supplies that I was planning to buy during these last few days. And so I was having that thought, and I just wrote in my business journal that I'm so grateful. I'm really, really grateful that I get to, plan out, I get to have some money left over at the end of the year and say, okay, let's actually use this to buy business supplies or reinvest that money towards something related to the business, and we'll expense it for this financial year. So that is one thing that actually went in my business journal this week. It was something that I was very grateful for, very happy, so I wrote that down. Another thing that happened this week, let me take a look actually, because I did write quite a bit. So yes, another thing that I wrote this week, and I wrote a whole page on this, and mind you, this is an A4 size, right? So I wrote a whole page on this. The thing is, I wanted to start a new vertical of my business. However, there's a lot of thought processes that need to go behind it. Sorry, I also need to do a lot of research about it, and so in my mind, I was a little bit confused. Okay, do I do it in 2026, like maybe June of 2026, or do I plan it for 2027? Which one is it? What do you feel comfortable with? And it was all kind of creating a mess in my mind, because the kind of person that I am, if an idea just hits me, I just want to start working on it. It just, yeah, I don't know, things just start building momentum in my mind, and one after the other, I feel like I really need to keep going. However, this setup for this vertical of my business is going to take time. It is going to take a lot of research, and it's also going to take a lot of back-end systems and processes that I need to work out before I get this up and running. All right, so I was very conscious about that, but it was kind of a mess in my mind. So I took some time and I wrote all my thoughts down with respect to that vertical of my business. And as I was listing out, like I was taking time and I was saying, okay, you know what? We aren't really ready for it even June of 2026. I mean, we can, but we'll be stressing ourselves out. We will probably have to overwork. Might not be able to take care of other areas of our lives. We might not be able to balance things out. So what is it that I want to do? Do I want to push myself to that extent where I will be overworking, and it's probably going to be quite unhealthy for me, because I'm not going to be able to focus on other areas of my life, which at this point into my life, it's very important that I have a balanced life. It's something that I'm consciously working towards. So that would be against your conscious efforts of having a balanced life at this point. So I was like, okay, yeah. The more I wrote it on paper, I'll read out one line. All right, so for 2026, we'll flow with the existing business framework and see how that shapes up. We have just made changes to the back end, so we will have to see how that plays out as well. So just having all of those thoughts put down on paper, like just pause. You just made big changes to your business very recently. You have to let that energy settle first. You have to let those systems and processes work out first before you create a brand new vertical. On top of that, there's a lot of back-end work that needs to go before you can actually even start working on it as well. So just having all of my thoughts down, and then I also wrote over here, given the upfront costs a little high, and we need to be sure of a couple of things. We need to take some time with this. Research a lot, create a system backend, consistent branding, etc. It'll take time, but we'll slowly work through it. So this is actually written I just wrote this, like I was just spending time with it this morning, and that's what I wrote. So everything, all of my thoughts and feelings about my business, everything that is confusing up in my mind, it all goes on paper. The moment it all goes on paper, it just smoothens things out in my mind. And I also feel like there is some kind of clarity with where I am with respect to my thoughts and my feelings about my business, or different aspects of my business as well. So for me, my business journal is where I talk to myself. Basically, I think the simplest way that I can put it is my business journal is a medium where I talk to myself about things related to my business. And the way that you see it, I use we'll flow with the existing business framework. So it's me and my journal, so it's like a we thing. And that also, I think on a more emotional standpoint, it makes me feel like I'm not alone in this, because I am a solopreneur. All said and done, one man team over here, one woman team over here. So this also makes me feel like, okay, I have someone who's like reflecting my thoughts back to me. It's kind of like a mirror. I can view my thoughts objectively as well. So in that sense, it has helped me greatly, even with respect to this, because last night I actually was kind of panicking about this, like, okay, do we do it for 2026 or 2027? If we're doing it for 2026 June, then it's going to take a lot. And that by itself, like the processes, the structure was not really clear in my mind, but I knew that it was a lot. And so this morning I sat down, I was like, okay, you know what? We don't have to have the answer tonight. It's late. This was like at 11 in the night. So I was like, it's late. Let's not panic. We'll deal with this in the morning. We'll just open up a business journal and pour everything out, and then things will automatically sort out on paper. And so the first thing that I did was I wrote the date, 28th December 2025. I drew a line underneath that. And then I just started listing out. I was like, I feel such a strong urge. This is what I have written. I'm literally reading out. I feel such a strong urge to do so and so. And I wrote down what it was. And I wrote down details of it, and then I put down how much it's going to cost me, and then I made an entire, I just started writing down how much the cost would be. I did a little bit of back-end research. I started writing down numbers beside it, and then after that, I kind of made a whole note, like how much is going to be the upfront cost and how much would it break even for me, whether it makes sense. And then I started listing out the back-end processes to get this going, and I realized that it is too much for me to take on for 2026 while keeping in mind what is important to me. My priority is to make sure that I'm balancing all aspects of my life and not just completely focused on one aspect of my life. So keeping that intention in mind, I started writing, and then I started understanding, okay, no, it doesn't align with me at this point in time. We'll keep it for 2027. And even over here, I've written that we will take a call at the end of 2026. We'll slowly work towards it, but we will still take a call at the end of 2026. So I've written it over here. So in my planner, when I have the year written out, I will put it probably in December. I will make a short note over there saying revisit your thoughts on this new vertical of your business. All right, so that is how I'm going to approach this. I haven't done it in my planner just yet. I haven't opened up the planner as of now. I'm still on my journal. I thought, okay, let's just make this video and talk to you about what goes in my business journal. Given that it's live, it's on my mind right now, I can share more details and I can be in a better flow with what exactly goes on in my business journal. So after doing a lot, of thinking time and just writing it all out, I realized that, okay, we still have to do a lot more research. We'll take our time with it. We have the entire 2026 to work on the back end, and it's actual physical work that I will have to be working on it. So that will go now into my planning. How can I make little by little progress towards it for the entire year? Because this is 1 year of time that I'm giving myself. And so how much of progress do I want to make per week? How much can I make? How much is it feasible without disrupting other areas of my life? So on and so forth. Now the planning work starts. But today, compared to last night, like I said, last night I was like panicking. I was like, okay, what do I do? Do I start? What's going on in my mind? I really, really want to do this. But then after writing, I was like, no, we have to take this step by step. Calm down. It's okay. The idea is great, yes, but at the same time, there's a lot of back end work that needs to go. So we're going to take this step by step. We're not going to push ourselves to a point where it is unhealthy, but we are going to work towards this in a steady way so that we have a solid foundation if we want to start this vertical in 2027. Like I said, I will still take a call for this in 2026. I'll set up the backend processes, which will still be running, and it is still creating revenue as passive income for me, the backend processes. So it's not going to be a waste of my time and effort, even if I set up the backend processes. It's just that this vertical, if I choose to, will be an add-on to that. All right, so even that, I'm completely fine with that thought process, and everything's written down over here as well. So for me, my business journal is probably the most important thing that I do for my business, because without this journal, I think that there is a tendency to just be swept away with what is going on with your business without understanding your thoughts and your feelings about it. I also think that so much happens in a given day or a given week, especially if you are a solopreneur. You are probably balancing a lot of different aspects of your business. Like for me, I am the accountant. I am I am the accountant. I am the therapist of sorts for myself, given I do this, the self, kind of working through it. I am my own business manager. I am my marketer. I am what else? I'm the content creator. I'm the face of my business. So there's a lot of different areas of my business that I tackle alone, just by myself. So given that, a lot happens in a given single day for me in different aspects of my business. So all of my thoughts, my feelings about it go into my business journal. It has helped me so much. Like, I have kept a business journal from the moment I started my business, and this was in 2019. So I can tell you with like 100% confidence that this is the most important thing that I do for myself and my business as well. The amount of clarity that comes through just by keeping aside an hour or two on a given day. So make sure that you're setting aside that time. You're insistent on it. Like I told you, this is something that compulsorily I have to do every single week on a Sunday. This is the only thing that is on my agenda. This and planning for the next week. That's pretty much it. I don't really do any other work. Any other showing up. Of course, now I'm doing this video, but that's because I was kind of in the right energy to do this, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's post a video. But if you notice, I don't really do videos on Sundays. If you notice all the previous videos that I have posted, and even if I have posted videos on Sunday, usually I would have done it Saturday night and then posted them on Sunday. So that is something that is very important to me. This is very clear steps that I have for myself, that this is important, this is going to take time, so we're going to keep that as a priority on one day a week. For me, it is Sunday. That's the day that it aligns for me. You can choose another day, but I would suggest being specific about which day you're going to do it, and also the time. So for me, this is morning, Sunday morning. The moment I'm done with my breakfast, I sit at my table and I start working through my thoughts and my feelings about my business, start kind of reflecting upon the week that has passed, the month that has passed. Like, for example, it is December 28th, this Sunday. So either I can reflect upon the month today, or December 31st, which I think is going to be a Wednesday, I take some time to reflect upon the month, but it is going to go in this journal. Whatever it is, I can choose between either days. For me, I think I want to wait out another 3 more days, just because I'm waiting for a few things to come through for this month, and it's going to take 3 more days for them. And so I will be doing my reflections on the 31st of December, but it is compulsory that I work through with my business journal. So just to summarize this entire video, a couple of things that you can write in your business journal. You can take a look at the upcoming week, your thoughts, your feelings about it, the past week that has gone by, your thoughts and your feelings, your reflections, what went well, what did not go well, what can be improved, things to note for the future. Maybe something went right and you want to put a pin on that and say, hey, let's keep a reminder of this. You can do the same for the past month, the past quarter, the past year, the next month, the next quarter. You can do those as well. I would say brainstorming your goals, brainstorming different aspects of your business. If you're struggling with a problem with respect to your business, or you're finding it difficult, put all of your thoughts on paper. Not just your thoughts, put your feelings about it. How do you feel about it? Like, look at this. My first sentence of my business journal was, I feel such a strong urge to do so and so, So it's more important to actually write down what you are feeling. Yes, your thoughts are important, but alongside with that, your feelings are also very, very important. All right, all said and done, this is a relationship that you have. And if you are a business owner or an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, this is a very, very significant relationship in your life. And just as it is with any other relationship in your life, there are going to be your thoughts, your feelings about it. There is going to be that exchange of emotions that happens as you work through or as you work with your business as well. So take it that way. Take it as this is a relationship that is building over time. This is a relationship that needs you to keep going in, to work hard on it, to strengthen your relationship with it. And how do you do that? You do that by journaling. You do that by putting all of your thoughts, your feelings onto paper and making sure that it's not all bundled up within you. You're getting it all out on paper and you're constantly analyzing where you are at. You're constantly sometimes even setting boundaries for yourself with respect to your business, just like I did with this 2026. Like if you had asked me 4 years ago, I would have jumped right to this and I would have overworked myself, and I have done this in the past as well. And I realized that this was so unhealthy. I ended up falling physically sick because I was overworking myself while trying to balance every other aspect of my life. So technically I set boundaries for myself. If you didn't realize that's what I did set boundaries for myself with respect to this new vertical that I'm thinking of starting. And I was like, no, that our conscious intention is that we want to balance other areas of our lives as well, right? So this would not be, if you plan for June 2026, no, it is not. It is not you doing your best. Your best does not come at the expense of your mental, emotional, physical health. It does not come at the expense of what you deem to be important for you, right? So that was me setting my boundaries, just as it is with any relationship, just as it is with any other relationship, there is a tendency to become unhealthy. So this helps me maintain a healthy relationship with my business. Ultimately, that is the goal. Because just like with any other relationship, if you're not careful, if you're not constantly evaluating, if you're not constantly working with the other, and in my case, it's my business, you're not constantly working with the other, there's a tendency that it will slip out of control. You will be overwhelmed without even realizing any possible solutions for it. You will get overwhelmed with the relationship. You will maybe cross your own boundaries to make things work. You might compromise on your own maybe values, your own integrity in order to get things moving, in order to keep or sustain that relationship. The relationship can get unhealthy, it can get toxic, so on and so forth. So I treat this like, I think this is the first thing that I understood about my business within the first year, that this is a relationship. Like, yes, it is an entity, but at the same time, this is a relationship that I am building with something, and I need to take it as such. I need to take my business as I would building a relationship, or however I perceive to be a healthy relationship. I need to work exactly that way with my business as well. And that's why in my business journal, it's we will create a flow. There is no one. I'm a one-woman team over here. There is no one. But it's more of we, because it's me and my business. We're working together. We're in this relationship together. All right. So this is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this video gives you a good starting point to start maybe with your business journal, or it gave you more pointers of what you can actually put into your business journal. Because I think that I have heard in the past, like people asking, I don't know what to put in the business journal. A lot. You can put everything, right? You can put everything with respect to your thoughts and feelings, with respect to specific aspects of your business as a whole. How are you feeling with respect to your business? Where do you place yourself in the relationship with your business? Where do you see yourself? How far have you come? Your wins, maybe certain aspects of your business that need tweaking. How can you improve yourself in order to manage your business better? Everything and anything to do with your thoughts and your feelings with respect to your business, you can absolutely put it in your business journal. Right? So I hope that it gave you more pointers to write in your business journal. I also hoped that the way that I write in my business journal maybe give you a good starting point to see the tone and your style of writing in your business journal. Because the way that I write, it feels like we're one team, me and my business. In the past, yes, I think when I started out, I was a bit detached from my business, just that was the mindset that I was in at that point in time. But very quickly, within 2 or 3 months, I started to look at my business and I as a team. And I feel like that has helped me a lot in terms of feeling like I'm not alone in this, and that it's something that we, my business and I, are working together. All right, so that's just a comfort factor for me. And so that's the way that I write as well in my business journal. That style of writing makes me feel like, yes, we have got this, me and my business. We've got this. It's not just I alone. it's my business is also supporting me and helping me create, like we're co-creating together. My business and I, we're co-creating together. That's the perception that I have. So if you've been feeling a little bit detached from your business, or you want to start feeling more like you're co-creating with your business, then I hope that I gave you a few pointers for that as well. And yeah, the next video we will talk about my planner. I actually do have a framework that I created for myself, so I'll be sharing more of that in the next video. Alrighty, take care, and if you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because that tells you every single time I do upload a YouTube video. I'll catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.